I spent all winter out here. It was just a nightmare.
This is Kyle. The 33-year-old doesn't want us to use his last name. He showed us where he lives, in a wooded area behind the 400 block of Crawford Avenue, after he says he was evicted from his home last August.
That used to be my tent right there, but it had a flood in the front, so we downsized and ruined a lot of our stuff, and so now we're over here. It looks like a freaking nightmare.
Kyle says he and many others in a similar living situation are struggling.
We don't have any resources really, except for, the Salvation Army and the mission, and they're always overpacked.
It's a familiar story heard by people like Brian Rock, manager of housing for Family Services, Windsor, Essex.
When we're notified of a possible encampment or we're aware of a known encampment, we continue to visit regularly with the folks that are present on the site.
According to a new survey, there were 1,400 encampments in Ontario last year. Windsor reported 2 encampments during the survey year, but now the city estimates there are between 8 and 10 encampments, but sources tell CTV News that number is much higher.
We want to have meaningful engagement and conversation with these individuals, find out what in fact is stopping you from having housing right now. What are the barriers you face accessing our local shelter program, and what can we do to make that happen?
Rock concedes there are several barriers when trying to help individuals like Kyle find shelter.
Some people are very resistant to accessing the shelter for various reasons.
I got stripped off my feet. They took the backpack from under my head as a pillow.
Due to, safety concerns, anxiety, other things, are just not willing to enter the shelter system at all. So then we need to shift our focus on what do we need to do to get you housing as quickly as possible.
Windsor is hopeful either the new homelessness and housing help hub on Wellington Avenue or a new provincial service called Heart will help people like Kyle. But there's no set timeline for when either might be open.
There's not really any resources to help us get out of this circle, Once you're in the loophole, they try to keep you in here. So you're stuck in the circle of life, so it's harder to get out.
In the meantime, Kyle admits he feels badly that his life conflicts with others.
We're not here to cause trouble. We're just trying to live like everybody else.